This was basically Randy Newman with the Eagles backing him on the song Short People from a long time ago, 1970, late 70s. There's Glenn Fry singing. J.D. Souther was on it, Timothy B. Schmidt. Keltner was playing the drums. There's this woman who wrote this big article complaining that it's time to stop celebrating people just because they're tall. Now, I think it's probably because she's short.
It's called the NBA.
So, she did a deep dive, apparently. This is in the New York Times. Mara Altman is the woman's name. And she's 5 feet even. And she said she couldn't be happier about it. Which, I mean, said short is better and short is the future. Being tall had its advantages a long time ago when your survival depended on brute strength. But she said it's time to stop lionizing people just because they're tall. I mean, it's something, tall or short, it's something you have no control over. Like, I'm not tall. I'm 5'11". I'm shy of 6 feet. And my mom and I mean, both my middle brothers are way taller than I am. My mom's 5'8", which is tall-ish for a woman. And then my sister is about that, too. But I'm easily the shortest guy in my family. They say short people live longer, and they require, this is what I like, they require fewer resources in a world where that's becoming a valuable trait. Hey, short people aren't going to eat so much. They're not going to need so much to get along in this new dystopia that we've created for ourselves. Said being tall just makes you a bigger target. So when the water wars start, you're going to have to pretend you have to crouch down.
Yeah, but if, the water's getting shallower, I think that evens it all out.
She said the American belief that more is always better is an illusion. I mean, we know that, but she said, the only thing I can't do as a short person is grab things off of high shelves.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. So she did a whole big thing. The article is called, There's Never Been a Better Time to Be Short. I was somewhere the other day. It might have been a Target or it was a grocery store or, a big retail thing. And one of the guys working there walks past me, just crosses my path perpendicular. And this guy's probably 4'1". And all I could think was, and he's got the uniform of whatever place it was on. And I was like, God, that must just suck. Just suck to be that short.
Why?
Because everybody automatically assumes 100 things about you.
I guess.
They assume you can't get a girlfriend, or they assume you can't get a boyfriend, or, because obviously that's an extreme example. When you're that short, that is short, especially for a guy, because there are still those, biological imperatives that are deep, deep in our reptilian brains where no woman wants to look down at her man. And so it's, you talked about this where there's you can set your dating app. Women don't want to date guys that are shorter than them or short in general, or I'm focusing on the dudes because I think it's obviously probably more difficult for a short guy. And that's a really short guy. You're shopping for clothes in the boys department. Just everything that goes with it. Huh?
It's cheaper.
And that's what you tell yourself that that's a good thing. And I guess, okay. Yeah. But you'd rather be 6'1" and paying more money for your clothes.
I wish I like being the height that I am, but...
What are you, 6'1"?
Yeah. And if I was, wearing a child-sized shoe, boy, that would really change things for me.
Well, there you go.
I'd fall over a lot more, but my shoes would be cheaper.
I'd like to be...
with the size 13.
I'd like to be 6 feet, 6'1", but I'm not. Now, again, that doesn't make me short. So for these guys that are walking around that are really short, because they're either quiet or they're angry or they're both. And again, no disrespect if you're a guy who's really, really short. I'm just kind of fixated on when I saw that guy the other day because it really kind of took me by surprise because I hadn't seen another person working in this store. So the first one I saw was like 4 feet tall. Alan, I'm 6'6", and what I get is, wow, you're really tall from people, and I just say thank you.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good day every day.
I'm
Well,
five. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I just find it weird that, like, a 6'6" guy, someone who is that high, and they always have, like, a girl that's...
What?
What?
You mean that tall?
That tall, sorry.
That high?
Someone who is that high in the sky, someone who's that tall, and they have, like, how do they have normal sex? And I know that's a very weird question, but I just feel like it's very awkward, because if I have someone bigger than me or slightly taller, I'm not a tall guy, and it's awkward for me. So I can't imagine the bending and flexibility you have to have when you're that tall, and everyone you date is going to be shorter than you.
But there's
You
women
make
who are
do.
6'1" or 6'2".
And I've done that too.
I mean, and also there's a foot difference between me and my boyfriend. I'm 5'2", he's 6'1". There's 11 inches
You just got to
difference.
stack the pillows.
But I'm saying, so if a guy who's 6'6" dates a woman who's 5'8", that's less of a difference than me and my boyfriend.
It's all how you move their knees. Like if I mean,
You got a
honestly,
spinner.
Yeah, if she's short, you get all the way up on the knees. If she's a little bit taller, you spread the knees out a little bit.
You figure
Or if
out
you
how
do
to
a
do
doggy
it.
style.
It's all,
Oh.
you
Yeah.
figure out how to do it. It's fine.
And then, like,
You
yeah,
just-
if I'm on top, that doesn't really matter. And then if she's on top, that doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a couple guys that I've had it both ways. I've been a lot taller than a guy that I've been with, and I've been a lot shorter than the guy that I've been with. And it's, I don't know, just figuring out your angles and what works for you, and it's very...
Well, your angles are a little bit different.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. But I imagine it wouldn't be too different from women.
Alan, plus when you're short, a crowded elevator smells different to you.
That's probably true.
I got it. A female friend of mine was going on a date with a guy she just met. She asked me to go along just in case. He was 4'11",
Oh.
and I am 6'6". He was not happy.
Oh, she was 6'6". That's
No, it sounds like this is a guy,
oh.
and she wanted him to third wheel it. You know what I mean, as insurance?
Yeah, got it.
Alan, your mother is an Amazon woman. She'll find a boyfriend in no time. You son of a bitch. How
5'8"
dare-
pretty tall.
How dare you come at me like that? How dare you?
I always wish I was a little bit taller.
A baller?
Anything else?
Shot caller.
Anything else? But if you had a girl, you wouldn't call her.
Oh, you call her to dish.
Oh, that's true.
Spill that tea.
Alan, if being tall was only advantageous in our past, then why have humans gotten taller throughout history? Well, I don't know. I'm not an anthropologist. We haven't gotten taller because of evolution, was my point. We haven't evolved to be taller. We got taller because we have food. We have reliable, well, we do. We have
Yeah,
like
it's just
regular access to food. We don't have to, we're not chasing down tigers for food anymore, you know?
You don't have to be as nimble.
Yeah, people have better diets by and large. And so evolution hasn't really made us taller. But you look at countries over decades and centuries that went from really poor to then developed nations, and they got taller because they just had more nutrients behind them. I don't know if we're still getting taller, but whatever. Alan, I'm 5'2". I'm a guy. The small percentage of girls I'm taller than still like tall guys.
I've had men
Yeah.
complain to me about this because I've gone on dates with guys who are like 5'8", and that is short to me. And everyone has preferences, and I've had guys get very upset with me when I've commented on 5'8" being short for a guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're 5'2", that's still 6 inches taller, blah, blah, blah. I said, I
It's
understand.
different
I
for a
fully
guy. It's
understand.
Worldwide
different
average.
for a guy.
I know. Please don't get
Yeah.
mad at me because you're 5'8", and I just happen to prefer taller guys. It's nothing against you for being short. It's just that I've dated plenty of guys who are
They were
short.
putting Tom Cruise on an apple box
Right.
on the red carpet next to these chicks so their heads would line up.
Yeah.
Married Nicole Kidman, for God's sake.
Yeah, she's like
Tall.
6 foot tall, right?
Something like that.
I went on 2 dates with a guy a couple summers ago.
What about that one really short guy?
Shut up.
Who was that?
Nothing. We're not even going to talk about it. I went on 2 dates with this
No,
guy.
we're literally talking
We're
about
not.
short guys.
And his Hinge profile said he was 5'10". So we went to go get ice cream. So I wore like these cute little summery jeans and a top and some wedges. So me in wedges, I'm 5'2". These wedges are not more than 3 or 4 inches. So I'm maxed out at maybe 5'6", okay, in these wedges.
I heard 3 or 4 inches is a lot.
But that's what I'm saying is, oh God, for shoes, yeah, 3 or 4 inches is plenty. He and I were exactly the same height when I was in these wedges.
Oh,
and
so
I was like, you lied. Like, if you're going to lie about something as stupid as your height,
Wear
you're
big
not
shoes.
5'10". You are not 5'10".
Right,
They
but
know what
then
they're
if
up
you do,
against,
you
too.
wear some Timberlands or something so
But
you
my
get a
point
little
is-
jump.
That's what aggravates me is when guys will lie about being taller. It's such a stupid thing to lie about.
It's
that
also
I'm like,
something
what's the
that-
Clearly
point?
not, because
No, but
girls
it's
will
also-
not go on dates with him because of it.
But it's
But
also
I'm not going to go on a second date with you because you're a liar.
but it's also something that you can immediately debunk when you
Exactly.
meet them in person.
When I have on 3-inch heels and we're the same height, you're very clearly not 5'10".
I'm tired of not getting dates, so I lied. All right, well, I'm going to spend the next hour with you, and then you'll never see me again. So you got a little bit further.
On our second date, I made a joke about how if we started hanging out more, I'd have to buy more flats. And he didn't like that. He didn't think that was as funny as I thought it was.
That wasn't the one for you.
Well, it's a very... I would be very defensive about that if I were a short
Well,
guy.
on that same second date, he quoted Joe Rogan as the reason why he doesn't wear a mask.
Another
So
short guy.
It's just one of those things where I'm like,
Another
this-
short guy.
it was never going to work out.
That guy checks 2 boxes.
What's wrong with Joe Rogan?
He's very
He's
short.
a putz. Alan, 86% of women on online dating are filtering out average height men. It's ridiculous and detached from reality that women. You're right, but what I'm saying is no one's out there looking to do math in the dating world. People don't like doing math in regular everyday life. So the one place you're expected to be shallow is on a dating app. You can literally put the slider on things you don't like. So then people are complaining they never get swiped on or whatever. That's a whole other thing. But no one's on a dating app going, well, I should be fair to the guys of average height.
Right.
After all, nobody's doing that. So the difference would be, yes, that's reality, average height. Tall women for me, that was the one thing that I couldn't get my head around. I dated a handful of tall girls, but I felt there was something emasculating about it.
You're
I didn't
probably
mind
not alone
it.
in that.
I didn't mind it. I mean, they weren't 6'6", but I dated a couple real tall girls in college, and they were great. It just didn't last long because it was just, I don't know.
Now, would you say that is because you were younger and more insecure? Like you weren't as confident in who you were as a person, so maybe that's why you didn't feel as comfortable, or do you think you would still feel that way?
College is probably the least insecure I've ever been in my life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You were your most confident in college?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the opposite for me. I had a lot of false confidence when I was younger through drinking or like...
Well, there's social confidence, and then as you get older, you get professional confidence, and that just fills in whatever gaps you need.
Yeah.
But I went from a high school where nobody was paying attention to me to college where all kinds of people were paying attention to me. So
So you had a bigger ego. But
whatever
does that
that-
necessarily translate to
No,
more
no, I didn't-
confidence?
I didn't have a big-
translate to getting your nipples pierced.
I didn't have a bigger ego. It wasn't an ego thing.
Okay.
It became I wasn't swimming against the current as much as I
Okay.
had been before. So anyway, and you're just high school to college. It's just a much bigger pool,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, tall girls. After a while, I was like, I don't think this is gonna.
It's not
There's
for me.
something, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's an awful thing because it feels shallow and silly and whatever.
Well, it is shallow and silly.
Yeah.
I think as long as you know, like I know that wanting to date tall guys is shallow. Is it shallow though? Is it?
I don't
Yes.
know.
It's a preference.
Well,
I mean,
is it any more
what
shallow
you're
than like being
attracted to.
blonde or brunette?
Yeah, those are shallow things.
Are they
yeah.
shallow?
I mean, shallow doesn't have to be just cosmetic preferences. Shallow doesn't have
It
to
has
be
such a
inherently.
negative connotation.
It's not
though.
an evil thing. It's like, yeah, I like
But I mean,
this. I
you're
don't like
attracted
this.
to who you're attracted to, and but I think there's a lot of times when people, if they give someone a chance to go, oh, I actually am really attracted to this person too.
Well,
if they give them a chance.
I told my boyfriend on our first date that he wasn't my type. He's 6'1", okay, and he's skinny. He's like
Yeah,
175
he's not a fat
pounds.
ginger.
Oh my God. But typically I would date a little bit shorter, stockier dudes. 5'10", 5'11", with some meat on them is usually what I'll go for. Dark hair is usually my type. And
You
so,
like fat gingers.
No, not ginger, dark hair.
She likes fat brunettes.
Okay. When we went on our first date, I straight up was like, I've never been out with someone who looks like you. You are so against
Why
the
would
type
you
that-
say that?
Well, he said
There's
the
no
exact
way-
same question.
But why
He
would
goes,
either of
He
you
said the
say
same
that?
question?
Well, he had this.
That's a statement.
No, he had the
No,
same
what
question
I-
Alan had, where
Yeah.
he's like, "Why? I'm
Oh.
here. I can hear you.
Yes.
I paid for your tacos."
My ears work.
Right.
That's not coming across the way you think it's coming across.
I meant it as like a compliment.
I
Like
know.
I'm having fun with you, and I wouldn't normally have gone out with you.
Because
which I
there's
know
a-
sounds so stupid.
Because there's an unspoken despite in there.
kind of, yeah.
I
I mean, we're living together now. You know,
I can't
so
believe I'm having such a good time when I don't ever like people that have your face
oh my god, who knew skinny guys
And
were
body
cool?
and
What
tall.
about that?
and everything.
You're
I got a
blonde.
break
Yeah.
here. If you want to get on my Polar Blast team, we announced yesterday, February 3rd, we're bringing back the Polar Blast Battle out of Boston Mills Brandywine, putting people on my team, the Coxsicles, this week. So if you want to get on, we'll do it after this break. And then I'll have another $1,000 for you to go fund yourself. Next keyword for that coming up at 5:30.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio. Don't miss
iHeartRadio Alter Ego 2023.
Presented by Capital One.
Alter Ego, are you ready?
this Saturday.
Starring